Hello again, it's Reggie Moon. Today we're going to do a HUD bid, a live, real life HUD bid on the HUD website, which is HUDHOMESTORE.gov. I'll take you as far as we can go. Want you to know, if you have a buyer looking to do a bid, first thing you need to tell them is whatever name and address is on their driver's license is the name and address that we're going to use to key in to make this offer. If we get the contract, when you get to the closing table, the HUD approved attorney or title agent will ask for their driver's license, and everything has to match. So if they had a birthday or something happened, or they moved and they haven't changed their driver's license, don't change it. Now's not the time, especially if they go under contract. They will not close if the driver's license doesn't match what's on the bid. That's one very important detail. Okay, here we go. Okay, so at HUDHOMESTORE.gov, we're going to go in. I'm going to show you a real life live bid from start to finish. So we're going to find a property. There's two ways to get to your state. One is by clicking on the picture of the map. The other is the way I always do it. I just go to the state and hit search. And we're going to pick, and we'll just do the first one. Here it is in Waycross, Georgia. We're going to submit an offer. This is where you have to have an active NAID number. If you're a broker, you have to have one, or if you're an agent under a broker, your broker has to have an active NAID number. So without that, you can't do this. It takes a total of 90 seconds. If your broker has an NAID number in your state, it takes tops 90 seconds to do it. So now we're inside the bid. I'm going to explain a couple things about how the net works. The net to HUD, because this is all HUD cares about, is how much they're going to clear. So here we have $143,000 property. We're going to bid $100,000. I'll get to part 4 here in a second. Let's talk about the net. Look at this. So I bid 100, and look at the net to HUD, 94,000. The reason it went from 100 and dropped 6 grand is because 3,000 is going, that's 3% of 100, is going to the listing agent, and this is the selling agent. This is my commission, and it automatically populates at 3%. So 100,000, take off 3,000, 6,000, you get 94,000. This line 7, is the net to HUD. I can, you can, anybody putting in a bid can manipulate this number. Obviously, you can go up here, you increase it there, it's going to increase the net to HUD. But watch this. I'm going to reduce my commission from 3,000 to 2,000, and watch line 7. When I go to 2,000 and hit enter, watch right here. Watch what happens. It goes up. I'll do it again. I'll go to 1,500. It will go up another 500. Watch this. So the net to HUD is determined by the contract price subtract agent commissions, both agents. By the way, I cannot monkey with the other agent's commission. So I'm going to go from the $1,500 commission. I'm going to increase it now. Notice what happens to the net. It will go down. So not rocket science, right? But that's how HUD determines the winner is the net. Now, if we add closing cost on top of this, if I add 3,000, I'll give you one guess. If I add 3,000 here, is it going to come out of HUD's net proceeds? Yes, it is. It will reduce it by 3,000. Watch this. Bam. So that's how the net works. You can change the numbers and it will change the net. Then the other piece, we have to know what kind of property is it. Is there an allowable repair escrow? That's something we talked about in the first video. You can't cheat this system, even if you tried. If it's out there only for owner occupants, you can't pick investors. There's just no way to do it. It's already set up for owner occupants only. Investors will ask, can they bid on an owner occupant property? Yeah, they can bid on it, but they can't go under contract. If they're an investor, they can't fool HUD and say, they may think they can, but they've got to sign literally in 3 places that they are an owner occupant. You just cannot help an investor acquire a property that's meant for an owner occupant, but they can bid on it. But that's another conversation. They just can't go under contract. So you always want to be held in backup. You always want your offer to be held in a backup position in case you don't win. And then here you have to say no to this, which means, am I part of the employment of HUD or subcontractors with HUD? This says I have nothing to do with the buyer. It's not a brother, sister, or a business. It's okay. It's okay to like, and it's okay to subscribe. If this is helpful, please do. Thanks. Partner. And then this is where you either put this is for the buyer, the SSN for the buyer, or if it's a business buying it, you put the employee identification number here. Once you fill this in, it will populate if you've done it before, if you've had that buyer buy before. If not, you got to fill in all the blanks. The other piece, and this is where it doesn't matter if you got the buyer aligned with you and you know how to do the HUD bids. If you don't get this piece, you cannot continue. And that piece is the attorney or the title agent. This is where you would put the company that is doing the closing. Like I say, either the closing attorney or the title agent. So you fill this in, and then it's a fill in the blanks. And if you have a property and you've never done one, and you need to see who would be a title agent or closing attorney, just find another HUD property that's sold in your state and go on the MLS and see the agents that were part of that deal, and call them up and ask them, where did you guys close it? It's that simple. So after that, I would hit continue, which I'm not going to do because it's going to say there's a bunch of blanks. And then, but if I did fill in the blanks, which are easy to do, and hit continue, then it's going to give me a review of everything that I've entered in here, buyer's name and the net and everything and all the details. And then there's one box you check at the very bottom that says, okay, we're live on this offer. I'm not going to fill in anybody else's social or EIN number here because that's a simple fill in the blanks. But that's how you do a bid. The rest happens once the bid is open, which I'll discuss right now. Okay, so after you win the contract, the next phase is getting the earnest money to the listing agent. If the contract price is below $50,000, the earnest money is $500, and if it's above $50,000, the earnest money is $1,000. Little tricky because the earnest money check has to be a certified check, cashier's check, or money order made payable to the attorney or the title company that's closing it, but it's got to be in the hand of the listing agent within 2 business days of having the contract awarded. More to follow. If you need me or anything, there's the numbers. And I can do this across the country because EXP is a nationwide company with a national network where we correspond very well from state to state, agent to agent, as far as referrals and sending buyers to different states and doing things basically nationwide because of EXP. Okay? You know how to reach me. It's Reggie Moon, 404 Eclipse. We'll talk soon. Thanks.